Hello wonderful person, this is Anton, and, well, looks like today the scientists discovered nothing. No unusual planets, no incredible new stars, not even a virus or bacteria that could potentially transform humanity. And even though I did some really thorough research and looked very hard, I basically kept getting this. Today, nothing has been discovered. I guess it's one of those days. But I wasn't really happy with this. I wanted to find out why. I wanted to dig a little bit deeper just to find out what the actual reason is. And apparently every scientific field had their own reasons. In astronomy, they tried to find more stars and more planets, but apparently we reached our limit. No matter how much they squinted and tried to look for more, they just couldn't see anything. I guess we need bigger telescopes. Then I looked into biological sciences, and apparently today they decided to call it quits because, well, and I'm quoting them here, things just started smelling really bad. And so basically the scientists wanted to take a break. I guess all of the stuff does get a little bit stinky. And so I figured maybe geologists discovered something. But even here, there was pretty much nothing. Turns out the geologists ran out of space to store all of their rocks, and are basically now looking for a new rental space. Chemists took a break for a different reason. They realized that no matter what they mix, things just keep bubbling and making noises, but it does get boring pretty quick. So they're just trying to find something new and more interesting. Medical studies had a very different issue. Ironically, everybody got sick. They all took a sick day off on the same day. I guess some virus going around? I'm not sure. There was something exciting in zoology. They seem to have found some kind of a frog that actually looked like another frog, but it turned out to be the same frog as they found before. And so that paper was retracted and the frog was named after Keanu Reeves. Not sure why, just seems to be kind of a thing they do now. It seems to be very popular to name things after him. But then I was certain there's going to be something in quantum physics. Turns out there was nothing. The physicists realized that maybe it's best to keep the cat in the box. The Schrodinger's cat. Because nobody wanted to be responsible for a dead cat by opening in the box, and nobody was ready for a new pet. Especially if the cat was still alive and very hungry. And so, at least for today, the cat is going to be both alive and dead, because they decided to keep it in a superposition state. And even in computer sciences, nobody did anything because apparently, today AI took over, and so nobody has anything to do anymore. So yeah, nothing discovered, nothing found. But I still had to make a video, so I guess today this is going to be, ASMR video. I'm not sure how to make those, so I guess maybe I'll just play some videos of cats and dogs while eating this cookie. I think I'm supposed to do it louder. Should I be scratching the microphone? Well, cookie's finished. Look, I have another cookie. Okay, finished that one too. But guess what? I have so many more cookies to go. This is going to be a pretty long video. So I guess get cozy, get comfortable, and let's do this. Next one. Here we go. Actually, I'm supposed to not be eating this anymore because apparently I'm getting a lot of weight and apparently I'm not moving enough, according to my doctor. Anyway, April Fools, thank you for watching. We're not done yet because I did actually want to make this into an interesting kind of a segue in regards to sciences. But first, let me put these wonderful cookies away. Maybe last one. Really tempted to do this. No, cannot. Anyway, so, sciences. Sorry dog, sorry cat, bye-bye. So yeah, even though there was actually quite a lot of discoveries and a lot of papers published today, despite it being April 1st, there was one paper that I actually wanted to address from, I guess, maybe a couple of months ago that I did not get to talk about. And surprisingly, it relates to what I started the video with. Lack of discoveries, or to be more exact, lack of innovation. Because according to this research, which is, by the way, really interesting, in the last few decades there has been a major slowdown in groundbreaking disruptive papers and discoveries across all fields of sciences and technology. In other words, even though I kind of started this as a joke, in reality this is not far off from reality. By looking at what the scientists refer to as disruptiveness score, and assessing 45 million scientific papers between 1945 and 2010, including 4 million patents between 1976 and 2010, there was a major decrease in groundbreaking disruptive research in a lot of different fields, especially in physical sciences such as physics and chemistry, implying that the nature of research is changing dramatically and becoming a little bit more, redundant as opposed to innovative. And there are obviously a lot of explanations. One explanation is the theory of low-hanging fruit. Maybe everything that could have been easily discovered has already been found. But if so, this would actually not be affecting all of the fields. Some fields would be affected more than others, and some fields would be full of incredible discoveries that have just begun. Yet that doesn't seem to be the case. And here's how the scientists discovered this and what they think is happening. First of all, they focused on the idea of citations. You know, the references you find in the back of the paper or the book. And so if the research was cited a lot in the 5-year period, it was assumed to be more groundbreaking than other research. And based on the analysis from every scientific field, this actually has decreased dramatically in the last few decades. And it's very consistent both in speed and in timing across all of the fields. And so instead, the scientists think that this is maybe the idea of burden of research. The concept that suggests that it's just become really difficult to become a successful scientist, especially if you want to master a field and then write a PhD and push the boundary a little bit more. And because it's so complicated, the majority of researchers just focus on maybe consolidating previous knowledge, as opposed to trying to be disruptive or creating something new. Or to rephrase this, they basically want to graduate and get their PhD, they want to become researchers, and to do so, they try to focus on something that's maybe a little bit easier to achieve, as opposed to breaking new grounds or creating something completely new. With the other major reason being academic pressure, specifically the pressure to publish more and more, and quantity over quality. Anyone who's gone to graduate school knows that it's really about the number of papers and number of publications as opposed to what those publications are on. Or in other words, it's a fundamental issue with the way universities are structured and with the way that graduate schools are run. And so it's not that we're getting less innovative or are not able to come up with more exciting stuff. It's really more about the focus on quality that's disappeared, replacing it with the focus on quantity. And on top of this, we also have to become ultra-specialized in the field we're studying, and that becomes a bit of a problem if you're trying to create something completely new. And this pressure seems to definitely come from academia, but may also be kind of driven by even publications like the Nature magazine that do have a very specific criteria for what's sort of allowed and how it should be done, which then basically leads to all research becoming kind of similar, but not really very groundbreaking. And it's really getting worse and worse. But obviously it's not too late to stop this, or to at least change this to some extent. Or at least giving researchers a little bit more freedom and putting a little bit less pressure in terms of funding, because losing subsidies or losing funding in most cases drives the majority of research today. Although in reality, I don't think it's going to be very easy to solve this, just as it's not very easy to solve a lot of other educational problems. But being aware of this and understanding the problems is a pretty important first step. And so if things actually go this way, in the next 10 to maybe 20 years, the majority of videos on this channel are basically going to be, oh yeah, we've just reinforced another idea, we've just confirmed something else that people knew already, and most of it is probably going to be somewhat boring, with very few videos being about innovation and incredible discoveries. Hopefully it doesn't get that bad. But still, pretty important thing to kind of know about, and a pretty interesting and somewhat important paper that directly addresses these problems, hopefully helping scientists and various administrators and academic research to kind of reflect on it, to try to maybe find some solutions, and to hopefully change their approach. Oh wait, I forgot to give you some graphs to look at. I mean, this is science after all. And this does help you visualize how bad things are getting. So this is various discoveries and various citations by different researchers. Here's what this looks like as a kind of an index, by looking at this over several decades up to about 2010. And here's another graph that also includes different patents and a variety of different publications with very different types of research. So the actual decline is pretty real. And so hopefully my joke doesn't actually become reality in the next 10 years. On that more serious note, that's pretty much it. I'm actually really proud of myself that I was able to control myself and not eat that third cookie right there staring me in the face. And thank you for watching, subscribe, April Fools, stay wonderful, maybe support this channel on Patreon by joining channel membership or by buying the Wonderful Person t-shirt you can find in the description, and I'll see you tomorrow, and as always, bye bye. Here are some cats and dogs again, and I can do it. The power is with me. Ah!